What if you could animate almost anything in After Effects with just one click? No keyframes, no graph editor, no repetitive work. I'm Apostolos, and in the next few minutes I'll show you how to animate text, logos, shapes, and even entire scenes with just one click. Let's jump in. Let's start with text animation. I've already got a simple composition ready, and the great thing is that everything you'll see here works exactly the same way for almost any text layer in your project. I'll start with the completely free version of MotionFlow. It includes everything you need to animate individual text and object layers with just one click. First, select the text layer you want to animate, then open MotionFlow and browse through the available presets. Each one has a completely different style, so just pick the one that matches the look you're going for. Don't worry too much about choosing the perfect one right away. You can always change it later. You can also choose how the animation is applied, by character, by word, or by line, depending on the effect you're going for. Once you've found the style you like, simply click the thumbnail. That's it. MotionFlow automatically creates both the intro and outro animations, so you can immediately preview the result without touching a single keyframe. And the exact same workflow applies to every other text layer in your composition. You can animate them one by one using different presets, or select them all and apply the same preset to every layer at once. One of my favorite features is how MotionFlow handles timing. Simply adjust the in and out points of your layer, and the animation automatically adapts to the new duration. By the way, all of these features are also included in the Pro version. The difference is that Pro can apply a different animation to every selected layer with a single click, while automatically creating the timing offsets between them. We'll get to that a little later in the video. Let's finish up the text animation by applying one last preset to the final layer. After that, we'll jump into the object animation workflow. Now that the text layers are ready, let's move on to object animation. The workflow is almost exactly the same, so once you understand how MotionFlow works with text, animating shapes, icons, logos, images, and other layers becomes very straightforward. First, switch over to the object section inside MotionFlow. Here you'll find a separate collection of presets designed specifically for non-text layers. Once I find one I like, I simply click the thumbnail. MotionFlow applies the in and out animation automatically without requiring me to create or adjust any keyframes manually. From here, I can continue using the same process for the remaining objects. Select the layer, choose a preset, and click the thumbnail. You can give every object its own animation style, which usually creates a more dynamic result, or reuse the same preset across multiple layers when you want the scene to feel more consistent. And just like with text animation, the layer timing remains completely flexible. I can move the layers in or out a point at any time, and the entrance and exit animations automatically follow the new timing. That means I can continue adjusting the structure and pacing of the composition without rebuilding the animation every time something changes. For this particular shape, however, I want something very specific, so I'm going to animate it manually. MotionFlow is designed to remove repetitive animation work, but that doesn't mean every element always needs to use a preset. You can freely combine MotionFlow animations with your own custom keyframes whenever the design calls for it. This is also a good example of how MotionFlow can fit into a normal After Effects workflow. It doesn't lock you into one method. You can use one-click presets for most of the scene and still animate individual details manually. With that custom animation in place, I can return to MotionFlow and continue with the rest of the objects. Now let's look at the Pro version. To enable the Pro version, sign into your Vidimize account directly from MotionFlow. Once your subscription or lifetime license is verified, all Pro features are unlocked automatically. Before using scene mode, select all your layers and click Reset to remove any existing MotionFlow animations. This gives you a clean composition before applying a new scene preset. You can select every layer at once, but for this example, I'll choose just a few text and shape layers. Then I'll decide how the text animation should be applied, choose a style, and click Animate. Just like before, MotionFlow applies the animations to every selected layer. This time though, each layer receives its own unique animation based on the style we selected, while the timing offsets are created automatically. Everything is still fully adjustable, and we'll look at those controls in just a few seconds. You can also change the in and out points of the layers exactly as before, and the animations will automatically adapt to the new timing. Of course, you can still apply a preset to one specific layer without affecting any of the others. To adjust the animation of an individual layer, select it, open the correct tab, in this case Object, and click Edit. This opens a panel with simple controls and sliders, so you can fine-tune the animation without touching any keyframes. You can also save your adjustments as a custom preset and reuse them in future projects. If you'd like to learn more about creating and managing custom presets, be sure to watch the dedicated tutorial linked at the end of this video. And remember, you can always go back, choose a completely different preset, and apply a new animation to any layer whenever you like. The same workflow applies to text animations as well. Simply select the text layer, switch to the text tab, and click Edit to access its animation controls. From there, you can adjust the movement, timing, easing, and the way the animation is applied by character, word, or line without manually editing any keyframes. For the final part, I'll speed things up while I make a few manual adjustments to improve the composition and polish the timing. And if you'd like a separate tutorial showing exactly how I build this composition from scratch, let me know in the comments. To download the free version of MotionFlow, check the link in the description or the pinned comment. You can install it directly from Adobe Creative Cloud with just one click, or download it and install it manually if you prefer. On the same page, you'll also find all the available upgrade options, including the Pro version and the lifetime license. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.